Hello, I'm Todd Kegels. I'm the principal here at William Byrd Middle School. I wanted to take just a moment to welcome you, our newest Terriers, to the WBMS family. I think that you'll find that we have a wonderful group of sixth grade teachers who will do everything possible to make sure that your child successfully makes the transition to middle school. Over the next few minutes, Ms. Hanowich is going to introduce you to the registration process, which is a little different from previous years. When you come in, your registrar will be able to answer questions about the school and the various courses offered here at WBMS. Later in the summer, we'll have an orientation meeting where you'll be introduced to middle school life and all the various aspects of middle school. Don't forget that school starts on August 13th. That's approximately 2 weeks earlier than in previous years. Please take that into account when you're scheduling vacations. Welcome to William Byrd Middle School.
I would like to begin by telling you about a few of the key people that you might need to have contact with while your child is here at William Byrd Middle School. Mr. Kegels is the principal, and next year he will be the 7th grade principal. Mrs. Stevens is our assistant principal, athletic director, and she will be the 8th grade principal next year. Mrs. Duff is an assistant principal, and she will be your grade level principal next year for 6th grade. Mrs. Cundiff will be the 6th grade school counselor next year. Officer Runyon is our student resource officer. Mrs. Rhodes is the school nurse. Mrs. Flippen is our nutrition manager in the cafeteria. Mrs. Harris is our attendance secretary. Mrs. Hilliard is the administrative assistant or secretary in the main office. Mrs. Shelton is our school bookkeeper. She collects any money associated with field trips or fundraisers for our school. And Mrs. Fitzwater is the current PTA president. It is extremely important that you make sure that your email address is correct when you fill out your back to school forms using InfoSnap at the beginning of the year. It's important that your email address is correct right now because this is our main form of communication with you all. So we have all of these different types of communications that we use here at William Byrd Middle School. Parent View is a great way for you to access the grade book for each of the classes that your student is in. InfoSnap, of course, is our online way to complete back to school forms. It's very quick, it's very user friendly, it's very easy, especially if you have more than one student in the school system. Parent Link is what we use to send out messages to parents. So that would be what we call instant alerts. If something's happening at the school that you need to be aware of, if there are any school closures or just really any sort of notifications that we send out, we use Parent Link. So that has to be updated at all times with current phone numbers and email addresses. Blackboard we use as a tool for students and parents to check assignments and course content. Teachers upload information to Blackboard each week, so that is a great tool to keep on top of your child's long-term assignments, tests and quizzes coming up, homework, things like that. All of these things can be accessed from the website that you see at the bottom of the screen, and I can't stress enough the importance of keeping those forms of communication up to date so that we can always send you any pertinent information that we have. Just a couple of fast facts about William Byrd Middle School. We have 4 elementary schools that feed into our school: Bonsack, Herman L. Horn, Mount Pleasant, and W.E. Cundiff. Our enrollment this year is about 814 students, and we don't expect that to change dramatically for next year. We have just a little bit under 300 students per grade level. All of our teachers are highly qualified, and we continue to be fully accredited each year. The student schedule is what we call block scheduling. What that means is we have 4 classes per day, and each class is about 95 minutes long. Students have 30 minutes for lunch, and as you can see in the schedule, the lunch for 6th graders is at 11:35 each day. So it's right in the middle of their day. It's situated very nicely in their school day. They go to their first block of the day for 95 minutes. They go to their second block for 95 minutes. Then they have their lunchtime, and they finish up with their 2 last classes of the day, each 95 minutes. What block scheduling also means is that English and math are each every day all year long. But science and social studies are half-a-year classes. We call those semester classes. They have science for one half of the year, and they have social studies for the other half of the year. They have their elective in PE all year long, but they rotate each day. We have A days and B days. So, for example, on A days, they might have health and PE, and then on B days, they have their elective class that they select. Students are recommended in middle school for either general classes or pre-AP classes. AP stands for Advanced Placement, and those are our advanced versions of our classes. Some things that you should expect from a pre-AP class. There will be analytical and critical thinking, problem solving. There will be more reading and writing in a pre-AP class. There might be oral presentations or long-term research projects, and it's extremely important to note that students registered for Pre-AP English 6 will have required summer reading assignments. They need to be willing to do these assignments and aware of these assignments before they register for Pre-AP English 6. We want to highly discourage people from changing their English class level once they start school in the fall, because it really makes it difficult for us with our class numbers to keep everything balanced when we have a large group of students that want to change classes. So whatever they register for, unless their SOL score affects that placement, they need to stay in the level of class that they're registered for. And in Pre-AP English, that means summer reading. Elective choices for 6th graders are as follows: Band 6, Choir 6, or Interest Block. So if they're not interested in playing an instrument, and they're not interested in singing in the choir, then they will sign up for what's called Interest Block, which is a rotation of classes throughout the year. It's on a 12-week rotation, so they'll have 3 of those classes throughout the year. And they might include computer technology, art, business, family and consumer science, theater arts. They're not limited to those, but those are just some examples of some interest block classes in our current rotations. Students don't actually get to select their specific interest block classes. The computer chooses that rotation for them, but it will be a combination of some of those classes that I mentioned. Health and PE is required for all 6th grade students. Like I mentioned before, they're going to have health and PE every other day. It will alternate with whatever elective class they choose. They are expected to dress out for PE and to participate each day. They don't have to have a school PE uniform, but they have to have PE appropriate clothes, exercise appropriate clothes for PE. So that can be shorts and a t-shirt and sneakers, or sweatpants and a t-shirt and sneakers, and they will have an assigned PE locker and combination lock, and they will keep those clothes and shoes safely locked in their PE locker, and they're expected to bring those home and wash them on a regular basis. Here's what you can expect next. You will receive a registration appointment from William Byrd Middle School, and on January 16th you will come in at your appointment time and sit down with a representative from our school to register for your child's 6th grade classes. If you're unable to make that appointment time that day, makeup registration will happen at each individual elementary school with Mrs. Cundiff, who's going to be the 6th grade counselor, and your student, and those forms will then come home to you for a signature. If you have a concern about your scheduled appointment time or you need to change that, you can do that by contacting Christy Cundiff or Cindy Bushnell here at William Byrd Middle School, and they can help you change your appointment time. Very, very important to note that the school year is not over, and even though your child is registering for their 6th grade classes, they need to finish their 5th grade year strong. Their grades for 5th grade and their SOL scores can affect what classes they're in 6th grade. They might register for a pre-AP class for 6th grade, and then if they don't pass that SOL in that subject level in 5th grade, then we'll have to drop them back to a general class. So they need to make sure that they're trying their best for the rest of their 5th grade year. That's really, really important. And also stay tuned for information on several different events that you'll be interested in. Like I mentioned, our one-day registration, which is at William Byrd Middle School on January 16th. Also, we will have a business day in the summer, which is a day that you can come and pick up your student schedule and walk around the building and familiarize yourself with William Byrd Middle School. We also have a 6th grade orientation in the summer, and that's a day that students and parents can come and meet teachers and learn a little bit more about our school. They'll receive their locker combinations on this day too, so they'll probably want to bring supplies in and get their lockers organized before school starts. I just wanted to quickly show you a snapshot of the Roanoke County Schools webpage, just so you can see at the very bottom how you're able to access Parent View, Parent Link, and InfoSnap, which are some of the forms of communication I previously mentioned. Thank you so much for your time. Thank you for watching this presentation. We look forward to seeing you on January 16th when you come in to register your student for 6th grade classes. Please let us know if you have any concerns or questions before then.